So the subsidy cliff is coming back to ACA marketplace plans, healthcare.gov. Even if you're on a state exchange like Covered California, the subsidy cliff is coming back. I like to call it the income cliff because I think that's a better term to use, which I'll describe in a minute or two. But in this video, we're going to be talking about what is the income cliff and why it's so important to be aware of this income cliff and what to do to actually protect yourself from falling off this income cliff. Because, if you do fall off this income cliff, then you take on the chance of literally having to pay back all of the subsidies that you've received for 2026. I'm Sebastian. I talk to people about their health insurance every day. I've seen what works, I've also seen what can cost people big time. And I also help people understand what the income cliff is and how to actually navigate your way around falling off the income cliff. So before I actually get into these two charts and visuals right here, let me give you a little bit of a background behind the income cliff. So it was back in 2021. Okay, so the income cliff was a thing ever since the, ACA Obamacare was implemented back in 2014. And the income cliff was removed, or it was at least paused throughout the years of 2021 to 2025, and it's supposed to come back in 2026, unless Congress actually says that the income cliff will not be back next year. But it's like October 25th of 2025, and hey, open enrollment's in like 6-7 days. Congress hasn't said anything about the enhanced subsidies or the income cliff in terms of if they're going to actually extend them, but we just have to assume that the income cliff is back. Okay. So to actually get into this, what is the income cliff? The first visual I would like to break down here is this little visual right here. So looking at this chart, we have the federal poverty level, which is basically like your income level, and the subsidy amount that you're receiving. So basically, the higher federal poverty level you are, the higher percentage you are, the more money you're making. So usually 400% federal poverty level is middle to higher income families, with 100% of the federal poverty level and around that area usually considered lower income. And then subsidies. So as you can see, the more money you make, the less of a subsidy you receive. Okay. So that's how the ACA marketplace works. And the purple line represents how the marketplace currently works right now and how the subsidies work right now. So basically, the red line is representing how the marketplace, the ACA marketplace, is going to work again in 2026 and how it worked prior to 2021, where you can see that the tax credits or the subsidies are lower regardless of income. And you see that, as soon as you hit 400% federal poverty level, then your subsidy drops to zero, right? As of right now, with the purple line, even if you make over 400% of the federal poverty level, a lot of higher income families still can qualify for a subsidy. But you can see here how it's going to be in 2026 is the income cliff is coming back. And the reason why it's called an income cliff or a subsidy cliff is because it literally looks like a cliff, right? You're receiving tax credits, and then all of a sudden, as soon as you make over 400% of the federal poverty level, then your subsidy drops to zero. So now let me actually explain how to figure out if you're coming close to the income cliff and what the possible repercussions are if you fall off the income cliff. So let's look at the federal poverty level chart for 2026. So the main thing there's a lot of numbers on the screen here, but the main thing we're going to be looking at is number one, the very left column, find your household size. Okay, so in this example, we use a household size of 3. And the right side are the federal poverty level percentages, right? All the way from 100% to 400% of the federal poverty level. So you're going to want to find where your income falls and then just know where you are on the federal poverty level chart. Okay, so let's say that, in this hypothetical example, it's going to be my spouse and my child who we are applying for coverage, and we have a household income of 60,000. Well, if I look right here, that would lie right between 200 to 250% of the federal poverty level. And that means I have a little bit of ways to go in terms of income to fall off the income cliff. Because again, right, like as soon as you make a dollar more than this number right here, then you have fallen off the income cliff. And what's going to happen is that if you project under the income cliff, maybe you guys are projecting 80,000, right? Even if you project $80,000, but you end up making over 106,600, even a dollar more than that, then you will have to pay back all of the subsidies that you've received for 2026. All of the subsidies, right? And on top of that, there is no cap or a limit in terms of the amount of subsidies that you have to pay back, like there used to be for 2021 throughout 2025. So it's not forgiving. Like you have to be very careful with projecting your income so you don't fall off that income cliff, right? And this can be especially hard for people that are self employed, people who maybe own a business. Maybe you're changing jobs throughout the year, you're getting a big raise, or maybe you're getting a big bonus at the end of the year, then you take on the risk of falling off that income cliff. So it's so crucial to just be aware of this income cliff and know what number for your household is considered the 400% federal poverty level, right? Like, let me actually erase everything here. And then you can actually take a screenshot. Yeah, so take a screenshot of this and save it to your phone because you're just going to want to check on this throughout the year. You're going to project your income on your application for 2026 and then just check on it throughout the year. Just make sure that you're not coming close to that income cliff. And if you are coming close to that income cliff, or you want to know the best strategies to prevent yourself from falling off the income cliff, then that is what I'm going to explain now. So how to protect yourself from falling off the income cliff. So let me actually elaborate on these 2 points right here. So first off, estimate accurate income. Okay, of course, this might seem very obvious, but you're going to really want to look at your income and give it your best guess, right? Don't just make a random guess, right? Give it your best guess. If you have your W-2s, maybe 1099s, pay stubs from 2025, you can use that as a base to kind of project your income for the next year. Right, and like you never know. You never know what can happen. Like for example, I spoke to somebody like a few months ago, and it was this guy, single guy. He was making, let me go back up to this chart. A single guy, he was projecting somewhere around 24,000, somewhere around there. And he was a regular casino goer. So he projected 24,000 on his application. Yes, I have very beautiful handwriting. Thank you very much. But he projected 24,000 for 2024, somewhere around that number. I don't remember the exact number. But he, again, he went to the casino all the time and he ended up winning the jackpot. And this guy had made over $100,000 for the year of 2024. Okay, and even though the income cliff wasn't here back in 2024, he still had to pay back a lot of tax credits at the end of the year. Thousands and thousands of dollars he had to pay back, and he wasn't happy whatsoever. So it goes to show, like, anything can happen. I mean, I'm not saying you're going to win the lottery, but again, maybe you're self-employed, you land a big contract that you're not anticipating, or whatever. So how to protect yourself again? There's another method of protecting yourself, which is by opening up a health savings account. And by the way, Congress is saying that um, any bronze or catastrophic plan on the ACA marketplace in 2026 should be HSA eligible. So that can definitely make it a lot easier to actually become eligible for an HSA plan. So there are 3 tax saving benefits to an HSA. And I'm really just going to be going over one, which is the contributions that you make towards your HSA are tax deductible. If you, for example, are projecting, let's use that same example as before, your household size of 3 projecting a maybe $60,000 income, if you contribute $6,000, for example, towards your HSA, then that would lower your taxable income to 54,000, right? And let's say that you're, getting close to that income cliff maybe you're going to make 108,000 and you know that's going to, push you off the income cliff, then you can contribute, whatever amount of money you want to contribute towards your HSA, and that can lower your taxable income. And by the way, there are contribution limits to HSA plans, but I will put those on the screen so you can actually know what those contribution limits are. And by the way, I will link an entire video I made about HSAs after this video. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments.